So this is a video on building an oast house. Now, oast houses, something you find in Kent, Sussex and various other parts of the UK, but they're for drying the hops. And what they used to do is build a fire in the bottom of these things, and then the warm air would go up and they would put all the hops in there and they would rake them over and turn them around, and they could have been called toast houses really, but there you are. They're dotted all over the Kent countryside, much sought after as properties to live in, even though they're slightly impractical in many ways because some of them are curved. So Dan has been building an oast house. He works for a company who's, what's the name?
Wedgwood Homes.
Wedgwood Homes, Dan. And Dan's been building this oast house for them because they took this site and it had an oast house on it. Am I right, Dan?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, it had an oast house on it, but it was right in the middle. It was, you know, in the wrong place basically. So they demolished that oast house, but as part of a planning permission, they had to rebuild it exactly
how it was.
As it was, yeah, yes. Which is crazy because they never had steel beams in it before, did it?
No.
But anyway, so you were tasked with doing the carpentry on this job,
yes,
yeah?
Yep.
And a little bit more as well, I think. So this is the steel frame. This is where you start a whole project, yeah?
That was a big floor going in. The steel frame for the floor, and then as you can see the crank beams, which was the pitch of the roof.
So basically, we put all these steel beams into place, bolt them together. Yeah.
Yep, that's
not
it.
welded, just bolted.
They're just bolted together, yes.
And so basically, the whole thing starts, as far as you're concerned, with the steel frame going in, and then you build the floor on top of that.
That's right. Yeah, we've got the steel frame going in, and there's joists, all the webs packed out to take the joist, and then the flooring on top, so we could crane that up as one lift, and we've got a platform to work on.
Yeah. So these are what they call the metal web beams going in now for the floor, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
Which is what some people call eco joists, but there are other ones around as well.
Yeah, we always refer to them as eco joists.
Yeah, yeah. So on top of that is the old chipboard
22mm chipboard flooring going on top, the cable deck.
Yeah, all glued.
All glued. PU glued, and then we fired it down.
And then you fire it down, you nail it down rather than screwing it down, yeah?
Yes.
So all this is fabricated up then, so why are you having to drill it?
We bolted a plate to the top to sit the trusses on, and they forgot to drill them holes.
Oh, okay.
So we just drilled the holes and then bolt the plate through, ready to sit the trusses straight on.
That's your mag drill, isn't it? Because we use that.
Yeah, it's Wedgwood's.
Yeah, oh is it? It's
yeah,
okay.
We quite often end up getting metals in and drilling the odd hole in them, because we've done quite a few metal buildings and such.
Yeah. So this is the crank beams being lifted up into place, and I remember this bit because they were the wrong way round.
Wrong way round.
They had to be spun, didn't they? Once they were put on, you realised that actually
it was too wide.
You'd think they were symmetrical, wouldn't you? But they've got to be spun round.
Yeah, I can't remember. You think it was square, but they went the opposite way. Yeah, because they're set in a little bit, that's why they're not square.
So these are the braces, aren't they? The diagonal braces.
It's the diagonal braces that give it some structure.
Lateral strength. Stop it
racking.
That's it. They basically stop it racking, but they weren't drilled, were they?
No, something.
So again, another little thing that on the drawing they're supposed to be drilled, but get the drill out again.
Yeah.
It's a tight fit.
Now go down, now go down there. Go down. Right about now, these are Imperials, right?
Yeah.
Usually, they come good, or they come back.
Yeah.
Right, yeah? Or they come deformed, as you can see, yeah?
Yeah,
So
handmade.
these are all the rubbish ones.
Yeah.
Right, I've got to restack them, yeah? Life of a hod carrier, and we're going to send them back. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're going to send them back?
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. Probably send them back, do whatever. But yeah, that's what we do. I'm a hod carrier. This is JJS brickwork, alright?
Yep.
For all your bricklaying needs. But you get me as a hoddy, which is a bonus, Black Rock. How about that? Come on, you might as well just phone them just to see me, innit? Come on. How about that, eh?
By an accident, caught right between junctions 26.
Do you know what? It's always a way, isn't it? You've got to get this bit of concreting finished, and it's just started to rain. So it's just time for me to get something to eat. I go and get a bite to eat down the cafe or down the shop, but I haven't got time. But anyway, I'm never stuck these days because I carry a couple of bottles of Y Foods, a proper meal in a bottle. It's got no added sugar, it's lactose free, it's gluten free. It's got 26 essential vitamins in it. So how do you find out which flavour you like? Well, they do a 5 flavour starter pack for you, so you can check that out in the links below. I'm going to try the coconut this time, and I won't need to eat for hours. Trust me, when you have one of these, it really does fill you up.
If it wasn't the 62 going to do it, it's going to eat him.
Getting the hang of that, mate.
Yeah, we're flying through them now, mate. He says, can you
miles in the car's neck.
So once you'd built that bit of structure, you then had to build the trusses.
We had trusses for the very top section.
Yeah, with the pointy bit, basically.
Yeah.
The bit everybody recognises of
Yeah.
the Oast house.
The nice part.
Yeah, the chimney. It's actually a chimney.
Chimney,
isn't it,
yeah.
really? Now you've got it all in place, now you've got all that bit built on the ground, we get the crane day.
The fun day.
I remember when I had to arrive really early for this,
Yes.
because they want to be on site
He was on site
7
and
o'clock. And
a few lifts and he was gone.
He was gone, he was out of it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's all been bolted on beforehand though.
Now what we done, we made this up as one section, lifted it up, then we drilled it in situ because the
I
holes was
remember,
already
yeah.
there, because you drilled some, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
That plate is the same size as the inside of the metal framework. Yeah, that's the inside, and then the trusses sat in it.
So basically what you're making up here, Dan, is a dummy frame for the trusses to sit on top.
That's the wall plate that they sit
top
on,
bit,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
normal, ordinary wall plate. So we cut the
Yeah.
OSB cleats to keep it square. That is the same size as the inside of the metalwork.
Yeah.
And then gonna fix the trusses to that, lift it up as one, and drop it in, sit it on the metalwork, then drill the metalwork out to fix it.
So this is going to sit on basically on four
pad stones.
Yeah, which is a bit, when you look at
It's
it,
a lot of weight.
it's incredible, isn't it?
Yes.
And one of those pad stones is over a lintel.
Oh, it's near a window.
It's actually on the lintel.
It is, yeah.
Because it's a keystone special lintel, which has got an RSJ in the middle of it, if you like.
Yeah.
They clad it round, so on the outside you still get the face brickwork, don't you? Anyway, there we go then, it's landing.
Yep, straight down.
You're directing the crane, so it's all your fault if it goes wrong,
Yeah.
as usual.
I quite like banking cranes.
Yeah. Well, I understand your language.
Yes, there's the trusses all fixed on the plate, and then it just lands on, and then we can drill them afterwards.
Yeah.
To bolt it, to join it together.
So the bit that you've got to do is the infill.
The infill from the top
between
section
the trusses.
and down to the plate.
Yeah. So all that steel frame that we
Everything
see there.
else there is all cut and pitched in.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a dormer at the front, and then it runs into the other roof, the other two roofs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
On the sides and at the back.
Yeah. So these are the pad stones. Basically, all that timber going onto those concrete blocks, and then it goes onto the ordinary. What do they call them?
Thermalites.
They're not thermalites.
No, but
Ytong, is it?
I'm not sure what they're called. Yeah, Whitong.
Whitong, which are Greek actually, and made out of crushed up Elgin marbles. So here's the keystone lintels. These are specials. They just look like ordinary lintels, but they ain't.
This looks like a lintel, but when you look at it closer, you can see it's actually a steel beam inside a lintel. So that's very clever, isn't it? That's worth 500 quid of anybody's money.
So now a lovely day then. I remember a
beautiful.
lovely day. And you're getting cracking on the infill.
Yeah, the problem that we had when I pulled lines down is to get it to marry up with a decent bird's mouth on the bottom plate and the top plate. There's a lot going on with the trusses, the bricklayers done a lovely job, but there was a lot going on.
Cheat mode?
Cheat mode, yeah, because I think they're all going to vary. I've made a rod up,
Yeah.
so I'm going to just mark it off like as a pattern.
Yeah.
I don't normally like a pattern, but because we've got two bird's mouths and a plate vary a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, cheat mode rod off. It's a funny old bird's mouth, isn't it?
Tiny.
It's backwards, look. It's more like a wall than a roof.
Yeah, mansard.
I've never done one.
You've never done a mansard?
No.
Really? Mansard roofs, named after Charles Mansard, French architect.
Is it?
1862 to... No, that's not true.
Because I'm normally doing the bird's mouth the opposite way to this. Where this is 65 degrees, and you've got like a 25 degree there, it feels backwards.
Not a lot of room to work, is there?
It's a little bit tight.
I've intimidated you now.
No, I'm going to go the other side. We'll go back there.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
Don't do it just...
And then I'll go forwards out there. That'd be better.
Don't do it.
Because I've got a
velvet.
velvet. No, I've got velvets coming off there.
Let's have a look at your shoes.
I love them. And I've got a hip going to go from here right up to the top.
Wow.
Don't think I've ever done a...
So yeah, so you had to make up the hips.
The hips were there, I think they was 7.5, 8 metres long,
Yeah.
and with the scaffolding access, it was fun keep threading them down
Yeah.
and getting them through.
That scaffolding's great for safety, but really awkward on that job.
It was in the way,
Yeah.
and I was lots of up and down through the scaffolding.
In this weather, you get me? It's all good. Peace and love. Black Rock, skill builder, all the time. Yeah, get what I'm saying, fam? What are you looking at? No, you. Yeah, you. Do some work, mate. All right.
It's the brickies who didn't want to be filmed.
Obviously, like CIA are after him and MI5.
Yeah.
Day job, they're just bricklayers.
I don't even see myself in this position as an actor. The first time I was on Corrie, I put my character's name into Twitter to see what people...
got so many extras. Lovely, beautiful. It's a nice shot with the sun out, isn't it? It's warming up.
Got a doorman in front of it.
Decided they're doing really nice.
Unless they're visiting like family and things like that. In this side, we've only got a couple of rafters up here, then the dormer starts, so it doesn't have to be flat with that side. One like through them outfits down there. Yeah. So that's not too bad. Right.
Three Veluxes to go in.
We have, yeah, we've got.
And a dormer.
Right, yeah, the dormer's around the front.
Yeah.
And then we've got a Velux. Right here.
Is that what is it doubled up? That's it?
Yeah. So we've got a double there, double there. The staircase is just right here.
Oh yeah, where the scaffold board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. If you level your first board in, and then as long as you use them correctly, put them on, they still works out level all the way up. Who's loving life? Who's gonna go next? Where?
Muck, it's with the sun, as soon as you put it on here, plasticiser as well, you know? Keep it moist. Keep it nice and moist. What is that?
This is an authorised Toyota Centre. Vehicles must be under 10 years old and under.
Stone it up, concrete it.
In the days when we had the film cameras,
So when you've got the hips in, what's next?
So I've got the hips in, and then all the jack rafters were going in. It's a long old splay cut on there because it's 65-degree pitch.
Yeah.
So for me, it was almost like cutting a bird's mouth up the wrong way compared to normal.
Yeah.
Because normally you got, you know, on a 40-degree, it's 50-degree seat cut, where this plumb cut, 65-degree pitch, you know, it was almost backwards.
Can I ask, Dan, is your square set up for this pitch or not?
It only actually goes up to 60.
Yeah.
Because when I originally done the square, I just thought 60 degrees would be enough.
Yeah, and you weren't figuring for oast houses.
I wasn't thinking about oast houses. So one bloke bought one, and then he backed it straight away. Went, I'm doing a 65-degree pitch roof. I thought, well, just set it up off of a speed square.
Yeah.
I know it's not the way forward when you're spending a few quid, but I'm like, you know.
Well, it's funny because I reckon you started out with your metric version with the degrees, and then the Americans said, "Oh, we want to see it in a rise over run." Yeah, so you produced an American version. Now I reckon you ought to produce an oast house version.
I reckon I'll sell about one a year.
To yourself.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring a bungalow one out. It's just for bungalows.
I don't, you know, we talk about oast houses, but they just aren't that many people built, are they?
No, I kind of guess the costings. When you look at all the steel work and the works into it, they're a lot of money for what they are, and it's a niche market.
It's a very, very lovely, unusual bit of
it's beautiful.
Character building.
It's beautiful, isn't it, at the finish?
It makes that development.
I'll seek a saving, do a...
So this is the beginning of the dormer, just setting it out. It was a bit, I think, make it up as you go along.
Yeah, there's a drawing there showing a dormer, but how you make a dormer is up to you.
So we've got the ply coming out, which is for the lead to go round.
Yeah, because this is not sitting on the inner skin, is it?
No, it's on the outside skin.
So that plate and that bit of block
was all going to come out.
Cut away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know the exact position of it and where it was going at the beginning.
So it was easier just to build the whole thing up and then cut it away afterwards, yeah.
Yeah, so we had that ply coming out. There's a few courses of tiles, so the tiles continue through.
And this is where you're cutting one of the rafters off. And I first of all thought, why is he doing that? And then I realised.
The feet come through and they're seen as a feature.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to see a double foot coming through.
No.
So I cut that one off.
So you just nominated one to cut off, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, all that little.
It's what they call an open eaves.
Open eaves detail.
Yeah.
So, and the fascia runs through the dormer. This was a bit, so quite often we've done dormers and the fascia sort of finishes either side and you get a bit little barge wall going up. But on this one, we've got the ply coming out, there'll be lead on that, and then the fascia runs through as one, right through it.
Yeah, because then the gutter runs all the way through. You haven't got to put down pipe either side.
Yeah, you don't stop at either side. It just looks nice when it runs through as one.
This is all basically done Keep the plumber happy.
Yeah.
I can recommend it.
Experts called monumental.
So that's the frame. So here's the ply cheeks, yeah?
That's it, yes, for a bit of stability.
And they're going to have to be lead.
And
covered.
lead on top of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Just to finish it off nicely. I was working out with the app, our rafter lengths for the roof.
This is using your app
Yeah.
to work out the rafter lengths.
Yeah.
It is a piece of cake, that app. If anybody watching this hasn't got it, download it now because it's free. Why would you not want this on your phone? Even if you're not a carpenter, you can still impress the girls.
Look at my app.
That's what you call happy days then, Dan.
Happy days. What, when
The app.
Oh, happy days.
He's just thought of a pan and he couldn't resist it.
Square down, same as going across 80mm. That's the line there, it's going to be 992 from the top there. And then just stick that on there and draw around it. Where's it gone? Oh, here it is.
Smoking.
I thought you were going to make me saw then. What's the light over there then? Bit Mickey Mouse.
Is that a bit of luck? It landed on that rafter?
Yeah, it was a bit.
Brian, when he lifted that cow on, and I sort of said to him, "Is this like the first one you've done?" And he almost laughed at me. He's like, "No, we do loads now."
So these are the guys, the specialists who turn up and fit the cow. They made this cow, didn't they? Dan?
Yeah, there was an original one, I think, to look at,
Yeah.
but they've made this from brand new.
And they're fairly similar. I was quite surprised. It's all made out of softwood, basically. It's not. I thought it would be a fiberglass affair nowadays, but
Yeah, traditional.
Yeah, absolutely, as they used to be made. The idea of this cowl is it turns around so that the open side, which is basically the chimney, it's like a chimney pot. The open side, where all the smoke would have come out when they were drying the hops, would be away from the wind.
Wind and rain.
So wind and the rain, so that no water would come in and all the smoke would go out, and it's protected. So it's clever, isn't it? That's the reason why it's bent slightly.
It's genius.
The whole thing is slightly off symmetrical, isn't it? That post in the middle, just drops down there.
That drops down about, I think, nearly 2 metres.
Yeah.
And then it's fixed to some noggins below, or some big
Which you put
timbers.
in.
Well, yeah, we put some big timbers in that span from plate to plate to take that.
And then there's just a cup, and they put grease in the cup.
And that's
and
it.
Every few years they come back, grease it up, and then it's beautiful, isn't it? Because look at the wind just blows it round. It blows that finger. They call that the finger.
Right.
And that is pointing
behind the wind. And the horse is a symbol for Kent, which is our coat of arms on the Kentish flag.
Oh, is it?
They always have the horse on there.
So there you are for all you Oast House spotters. If you've never seen the Oast Houses, one sunny afternoon, it's well worth a tour.
Of Kent.
On your bike.
On your bike. Nice sunny day.
Cycle around the Oast Houses.
And look at them all.
That is beautiful, isn't it? Silent. Wow, this makes me giddy. You just because it goes like that away.
Sit in it.
So you got a workshop then? You make
got
these?
A workshop, yep, in just in Yalding.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yep.
not far. So,
Keep busy.
so Oast houses, the Kent, Sussex.
Different.
Are they?
So that kind of Oast got wings on the front.
Ah.
And that's a Sussex cow.
Yeah.
Obviously
Oh,
Kent,
okay.
this is traditional Kentish cow.
Okay.
So really they should be
Same as this. All right, so somebody's coming from Sussex. We'll have to report them. So this house we came in when it was being screeded. Now it's all done. Kitchen's in. Kitchen's looking fantastic. Oh, it's lovely. I love the smell. Living room, wood burning stove, ready to roll. It was fantastically warm in here. Lovely ensuite there. Everybody's got their own shower. Look at this, look.
So that's the outside then. Now you've got to do the inside.
Yes.
All the second fix work.
Yep. First fix, second fix.
A lot of it.
Yep. 3 floors.
So how many houses in this development then?
There's only 7 now.
Only 7?
Yeah.
And 7's a lot. Some people call that a big build. You call that a
right.
small build.
Well, 7 big detached.
Yeah. It's got £1 million each.
A bit under it, yeah.
So that's that one done, Dan, and I've got to say, it's a great looking building, isn't it? Did you enjoy doing it?
Oh yeah, it's superb.
it?
To do something like that, it's a once in a lifetime roof for me. You don't see them or hear about them that often. There's plenty been built in the past, but for me, it's once in a lifetime.
And where next?
I'm not sure yet. Got a few options, so I'm going to see what happens in the new year.
And of course your square is keeping you busy anyway.
Yeah, the square's all good, so yep, it's
continuing to sell worldwide.
Worldwide, yep. I think 15 countries I'm in now.
15 different countries.
Yeah.
How many countries are there in the world, Dan?
I don't know.
So a lot to go. I look forward to the day when that square appears on people's national flags.